This is your complete guide to Zhiyun Smooth 5 and 5S, as those two gimbals are quite similar. The only difference is the added fill light on Zhiyun Smooth 5S and the white color. Let's go through setup, buttons, gimbal modes. Let's go through ZY Cami and StuckCam app. I'm using iPhone 14 Pro. Android users, keep in mind that there might be some limitations. You might not get all features in the apps. And for the new faces, ahoy, my name is Zdenka. If photography and video is your passion, consider subscribing. Once you pull out your new gimbal, it will be in locked position. I'm assuming you already charged it and you installed ZY Cami app on your phone. You will know it is fully charged once the lights stop flashing. First, you're going to unlock all locks: back pen lock, roll motor lock, and tilt motor lock. You might have to loosen up the arm and pull it out a bit to be able to fully open. The roll motor will face you and the tilt motor will be on the right side. The clamp is ready for vertical filming. I'm going to twist it until it clicks to film in horizontal mode. With this gimbal, you have to switch between filming in vertical and horizontal mode manually. To get it back to a lock position, lock the roll motor until it clicks, lock the tilt motor until it clicks, lock the pen motor and turn until it clicks. Thank you for watching this tutorial. Now we are done. Just kidding. Alright, how do you balance the phone? Let's do vertical mode first. Insert the phone so the phone camera is at the top. If you hold the arm, you should see the phone being nicely steady and leveled with the ground. If I let go, it falls down, meaning that there is too much of the weight on the right side. So I need to move the whole arm to the left. I'll loosen the arm and move it until I see it nicely straight. It's good to balance your phone properly, as there will be no vibration and you will get the most out of the battery life. This looks good, so let's turn it on. To film in horizontal mode, turn the clamp, insert the phone. Now I can see that the left side is much heavier, so I need to move the arm to the right. I also see that the phone is falling down towards me, so I need to move the weight forward. I will move the clamp here until the phone stays flat. Now I'm ready to turn it on. To activate the gimbal, make sure the Bluetooth is on. Once you open up ZY Cami app, you will see a Bluetooth pairing request. Hit the pair button and follow all instructions. There might be a prompt to update firmware as well. Just follow through. Let's start with the buttons in ZY Cami app and then later on in StuckCam, which is for advanced filmmaking, as some of these buttons will work differently. This side wheel will work only as a zoom wheel in the StuckCam app. Menu button will take you to Smart Menu. Press again to return. Joystick is a typical joystick. Adjustment wheel has buttons as well. At the top is resolution selection button. Press one time to pull it out, and now you can turn the wheel to adjust the video resolution and frame rates. To confirm your choice, you will press the light button in the middle of the adjustment wheel. Display button on the left and ISO button on the right are disabled in the ZY Cami app. At the bottom is the play button, which pulls out your gallery. Press again to close it and return to filming mode. In the center of the adjustment wheel is the fill light button, which also has other functions. As I mentioned earlier, you would use this button to confirm selection in certain menus. If you double press, it will work as a record button. You will start recording or taking photos. If you press and hold, you will turn on the fill lights on the arm if you have a 5S version, and magnetic lights you can attach. If you turn the adjustment wheel, you can adjust the strength of the lights. If you want to turn off or on only the built-in fill light on the arm, you will do that with the function button on the side. Long press to turn it on and off. I'm going to skip the mode button for now and look at the record button below. If you single press, you will start and stop recording. If you double press, you will switch between the front and rear camera. You cannot, however, switch between them while you are recording. Power button is on the side. Let's press to turn it on and off. If you single press, you will see the battery level at the top here. The more lights are flashing, the more battery you have. Function button below controls the fill light as I mentioned earlier, but also resets Bluetooth if you press 5 times. At the back is your charging port. This can be also used to update firmware via computer. Below is the trigger. If you press 1 time, you will enable or disable the tracking feature. If you double press, you will recenter the gimbal. One very helpful feature this gimbal has is manual repositioning. It's way faster. Instead of using joystick, you can just grab the phone, hold it for a few seconds, let go, and the gimbal stays in that position. Let's return to trigger. If you press 3 times, you will rotate the gimbal 180 degrees. If you press the trigger and hold, you will enter Go mode, which is a sports mode. The gimbal will react way faster. This is for fast action filming, or you can use it also for whip transitions. Now, let's look at the mode button at the front. When you turn on the gimbal, you will be in pan follow mode by default. To change modes, you will use the mode button. If you double press, you will go back to the previous mode. Okay, the next mode after pan follow is locked. All motors are locked, so the gimbal is not moving anywhere. You can go around the object, you can frame a certain view and move in any direction, but you will never lose the view. Following mode is next. Pan and tilt motors are unlocked. I like to use this mode when I'm revealing something from the ground or create complex moves where I need both tilt and pan motors unlocked. POV stands for point of view. All motors are unlocked. Pan, tilt, and roll. The gimbal will follow all movement. Think of it as an airplane. Vortex is the unique full 360 rotation. Alright, let's go through ZY app. At the bottom left corner, you're going to see little icons indicating how much battery your smartphone has and also gimbal. You can also see if you have continuous light on and what gimbal mode you have currently selected. When I switch gimbal modes, you can see the little icon changing. Let's go through all the icons on the left side first. First one at the top will take you to the main page of the ZY app where you can do things like video editing. A icon will let you switch between automatic filming and manual filming. In automatic mode, you can lock exposure and focus by tapping and holding until this square jumps, or you can adjust exposure with the slider. You can also bring the sun down a bit after you lock it. If you are filming several clips at the same location or want focus unlocked, you can tap the A icon and adjust the exposure value by dragging it up and down here. Here you can also switch from filming in automatic mode to manual. Once you select your values, you will see them displayed at the bottom center of the screen. If you need to learn about frame rates and filming in manual mode, I have a video on that. I'll link it below in the video description. Next are video settings, which can be again pulled by pressing the top button at the adjustment wheel. Then you can use the adjustment wheel to select what video resolution and frame rates you would like to film at. Let's close this by pressing the top button again. Glamour effects are below. Now you might see the sign popping up telling you that this is not supported in 4K and 60 frames per second shooting. You will have to go back to video settings and lower the resolution to 1080p or change the rates from 60 frames per second. And now you can access the glamour effects. Here you can do just automatic setting, or you can choose whatever you would like to change. Let's hit the 3 dots icon, which will take you to settings. You will have 3 options at the top: shoot, gimbal, and general. Let's start with shoot. Flashlight is off. You can enable continuous video light on your smartphone here in case you need it. Microphone has 3 options: built-in, external, and Bluetooth. Right now, built-in is the only option as the others are grayed out. Once you actually attach an external microphone or enable Bluetooth microphone, you will be able to switch it here like right now when I have an external microphone attached. Next setting would be enabling the grid. You have a choice between grid lines and grid diagonals. I strongly recommend using grid lines as it will help you with composition. But for now, let's keep it off so the screen is not cluttered. If you will be filming in automatic mode, you are not going to be able to change the white balance. If you will be filming in manual mode, here is where you can change white balance. Sunny, cloudy, indecendent, fluorescent, and custom are your options. By default, if you show this gesture or this gesture, the gimbal will follow and shoot. If you want the gimbal to shoot only, for example, if you're sitting at the desk and you don't want the camera to follow you, you want the frame to stay the same, here is where you can change it to shoot only. Another option here is to turn off smart shooting or enable HDR shooting. Keep in mind that HDR shooting doesn't work in glamour effect mode. Let's tap at the top to enter gimbal settings. First up is scene mode. Majority of the time you will leave it on walk. If you will be running and want better stabilization, you will change it to run. Follow mode is where you can change gimbal modes, even though you will change them directly on the gimbal with the modes button. Joystick speed will let you enable fast response, medium, or slow. I generally keep it to medium. Zoom speed is something you want to customize as well, depending on what you are filming and how fast you want the zoom to be. Let's look at the joystick. Right now, when I press the joystick left, the camera goes left. When I press right, it goes right. Invert pen control means that once you enable that, when you press the joystick left, the camera goes right and vice versa. Choose whatever feels natural to you. And the same thing you can do with joystick movements up and down. You can invert tilt control here. Last one is gimbal auto calibration. The gimbal is already well calibrated straight from the factory. If you will be adding filters, lenses, and notice that the gimbal doesn't hold a perfect straight horizon, you can try this gimbal auto calibration. Make sure the gimbal is on a flat surface and hit confirm. It will calibrate on its own. Once it is done, the horizon should be straight now. Let's go to the last settings option, which would be general. Here, theme settings are grayed out. If you have Prime membership, you can activate and use ZY remote control. Pro mode will take you to StackCam app, which we will look at in a bit. Further below is more information about your device. Let's talk about tracking. You can just press the trigger button one time and the gimbal is now tracking you. You can turn it off the same way. The other way you would enable tracking is just slide with your fingers across and select the object you want the gimbal to track. And the same thing, the gimbal is now tracking. I'm gonna turn it off with the help of the trigger. I'm gonna press it one time. One thing I want to mention is when tracking is on, the gimbal will be in lock mode. Once you are done tracking, the gimbal stays in lock mode. So depending on what you are going to be filming, you will have to switch to the mode you need. Let's move to the right side. The first button at the top will take you to the smart feature. Here you have many pre-designed templates. Just select the one you like and follow instructions. Below the smart icon is where you can switch between rear and front camera. Record button is below. Gesture control is off by default. Here is where you can turn it on. Access to your gallery is at the bottom. Let's move all the way to the right. First one up is hyperlapse. The little bulb icon will show you a preview of what this mode does. Hyperlapse mode can be filmed in an automatic or manual mode. If you hit top of the adjustment wheel, you will pull out controls where you can change resolution and speed by turning the adjustment wheel. Time lapses can also be filmed in automatic or manual mode. Here you can also pull out resolution and frame rates. When you hit the little arrow at the top, here is where you can select interval and duration. Interval is a time between two shots, and duration is how long the time-lapse will be filmed for. At the top, you will see the value you selected, plus also how long the final time-lapse will be. If you want to create motion, you just move the icons on the right. You can do a clockwise time-lapse, counterclockwise, or path. When you select path, choose the starting point, hit plus, move to another point, hit plus again. You can do up to 5 points. Dolly zoom effect is next, which can be again filmed in automatic or manual mode. You can also pull out resolution and frame rate settings and enable glamour effect. You can do target approaching, so you will be walking forward, or target receding, you will be backing up. Slow motion can be filmed in automatic or manual mode, and it will be filmed in 720p, 8x slow motion. Let's go to panorama. Automatic or manual mode option is here as well as timer. First one is clone. If you are filming someone else, you will use a rear camera. If you want to record yourself, you will switch to selfie. You can select the number of clones. Minimum is 3 and it goes up to 7. Next one is 3x3, 240 and 180 degrees panorama. Video mode is next. Photo mode, which allows you to take photos in automatic or manual mode. You have the option to enable timer and beauty mode. Alive will take you to live stream. And last one is smart, full of pre-designed templates to follow. Let's hit the settings button, choose the general page and go to Pro mode, which will take you to StuckM app designed for advanced filmmaking. Here at the top right side, you will be able to see gimbal mode, gimbal and smartphone battery level and storage space. At the top right corner are settings. Once you hit there, you will get to the Me page where you can see all your account information. Here you can also clear cache media files. Below Me is the filming section where you can activate ZY Remote and use it for remote control if you have Prime Plus membership. If you want to film in portrait mode and want all controls to be displayed in portrait mode, you can enable it here. Now when I leave the settings, you can see that it is all changed. Let's go back to settings to turn it off. Further down in the settings, you can disable filming prompt tone and use LUT. If it is enabled, you can use it in the video. If it is disabled, you can only preview the LUT. Anti-shake setting will allow you to disable or enable standard or higher level stabilization, which is movie and professional. Last choice is auto. The footage may be lagging if you enable anti-shake. The higher anti-shake, the more latency you will see. Bitrate is next. As it says here, the system will recommend the bitrate that fits you. You can also set what bitrate you want yourself. The higher the number, the more quality you're going to get. They also say that due to the system limitation, when filming a video in a higher bitrate, the actual bitrate may be lower than the set value. Under coding, you can select if you want to film in H.264 or H.265. Filming countdown is disabled by default, but if you need it, you have a choice between 3, 5, and 7 seconds. Save video to a system album I have enabled. This means that the video will be saved in StuckM, but also in the phone album. If you want the video to be saved only in StuckM, you can disable it here. If you would like to also save a location in your video, you can enable it here. Prime members can customize footage analysis settings. You can choose what focus peaking level and color you want to see. You can choose brightness level and line for zebra pattern, highlight clipping threshold, and monochrome display color. You can choose brightness level and line for zebra pattern, highlight clipping threshold, and monochrome display color. Let's leave the settings and look at the filming screen. First of all, in StuckM, you are not going to get tracking. That is only available in ZY. First icon on the top left is lens selection. You can choose between ultra wide angle, telephoto, auto, and selfie. If you select auto, which is filming in automatic mode, you will use the wheel to zoom in or zoom out. It will automatically switch between lenses. Focus will be only automatic. You cannot change a focus with the focus wheel. As it is automatic mode, you will see all the shutter speed, ISO, and white balance disabled. So if you press the ISO button, it will do nothing. In the automatic mode, you will only get exposure control icon. If you press and hold, you will lock it. You can also slide the sun up and down to adjust the exposure the way you like. The same thing goes if you will be filming with a selfie lens. Focus will be automatic and you can only get the exposure control icon. If you select an ultra-wide angle, wide or telephoto lens, the zoom will be only a digital zoom. If you press the button on the focus wheel, you will switch it from zoom to focus, and now you can control focus with this wheel. Here, when you tap on the screen, you will get exposure and focus control icons. They will be together. You can lock it all together by pressing and holding, or you can drag the exposure icon out, and now you can move them on the screen wherever you want and lock them separately. You can lock and control exposure, and you can lock focus. ISO button will work now as well. If you press it, it will pull out this panel where you can switch between automatic and manual filming. To switch between automatic and manual filming, you will press the light button. Press only one time. If you press 2 times, you will start recording. I'm going to press 1 time to switch to manual control, and now with this adjustment wheel, I can change shutter speed. If I want to change the ISO, I will press the ISO button again. With the ISO button, you can switch between shutter speed, ISO, and white balance. As you can see, white balance is in automatic mode. If you want to select your own white balance, you have to switch to manual first by pressing again the light button. To close the panel, just tap with a finger on the screen, or once you hit the record button, it will close itself. The top button on the adjustment wheel will pull out this panel where you can choose your resolution, filming mode. The choices are filming mode, slow motion, and time-lapse. Lastly, you can choose your frame rate. There is also a note here. Due to the limitation of the phone system, videos with high frame rates will be output in their original format with no features applied, such as footage analysis, LUT, and so on. To make a selection, just turn the adjustment wheel. Once you select what you want, confirm by pressing the light button. To get out of this panel, tap on the screen, or once you hit the record button, it will close on its own. Bluetooth connection status is here. Zoom control. You can tap on it and zoom in and out with your finger as well. The same goes with the focus icon on the other side. You can tap on it with a finger and adjust as well. Record icon is here. Another icon on the top, which is grayed out right now, is Glamour Effect. It is the same thing like in StackCam. If you want to use it, you cannot film in 4K or 60 frames per second. Also, you cannot use it in slow motion and time-lapse. At the top of the screen in the center is a time code. Beside it is an icon where you can turn on a smartphone video light if you want, not the light on the gimbal. Again, the light on the gimbal can be turned on by pressing and holding the light button or function button. Function button only controls this light on the arm. The light button controls both magnetic field lights and arm light. At the bottom of the page is your histogram and sound bar. Further right is where Prime members can choose the aspect ratio. Choices are widescreen, mobile phone, movie, HD TV, Academy, old TV, and square. I usually just have it on default none. Guides are next. Here you can enable 3x3, 4x6, diagonal lines, and level meter. Save frame is the last option. Here you can choose your desired percentage. You can close this panel by pressing the menu button. If you are a Prime member, you can enable any of these in the footage section. Focus peaking, zebra pattern, false color, highlight clipping, and monochrome display. You can also enter advanced settings here to customize this further. Press the menu button to close this. LUT section will pull out many LUTs. Most of them are included, some are available only through Prime membership. You have here log, cinema, daily, film, and 709. Press menu to close this. Last icon on the right is for display. If you press the display button on the adjustment wheel, you will disable all these icons on the screen. Press again and all icons are back. You can also do that by tapping the finger on the screen. There you have it. I would like to also mention that I created a recent video where I'm comparing all filming accessories such as lenses, filters, microphones, and all that. I'll link it below in case you need further setup for this gimbal, but you're unsure what is good and what not to buy. Give it a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe for more. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Ahoj.